What is up, guys? It is DJ Martini Midwest Reviews coming at you with another video for my channel. Today I'm in the garage, zinger of a review on an electric motor kit, a front wheel kit for your bicycle. It's allegedly supposed to work on any bike, and it converts your bike from a pedal bike to an electric. So you'll have some electric power in that front wheel to get you scooting around, and the way I did it, you can still pedal the bike as well and have all your gears and everything too. So it does take a little modifications and things like that. If you're a little bit handy, you definitely can get this done. I'm kind of going to explain it a little bit. I'm not going to give you a lot of ride time or stats on battery life and things like that. If you're interested, you might have to look elsewhere. But I just want to kind of give you a review on the things you're going to get with this kit, what I had to do to get this done, and a little information like that. So this summer is going to be locked down right here on this channel because I have tons of reviews. I got all kinds of things that I'm going to be bringing to you in the garage, on the streets, and then back in my DJ lab as well to show you all kinds of equipment that I've been picking up. It's going to be an awesome summer, so lock into my station, guys. DJ Martini Midwest Reviews. Lock in, subscribe, so you know when I'm posting that next video. Items. I usually try to look for valued items, but I find all kinds of items that just work, and I want to bring them to you to let you know that they do work. I just like to do review videos. I like to do the research so you don't have to. I like to give it in the easiest way I know how, give you positives and negatives, and then leave some links. You're awesome, great feedback, great questions, and just thank you for the support. Let's get into the video on the Jauopay 48 volt brushless kit I want to bring to you, and we're just gonna jump into it because I got a lot of information that I want to bring to you. These are 26-inch rims on this bicycle. I'm gonna give you a really close-up shot. I'm gonna walk around the bike real quick and give that to you in a second, kind of talk about everything, give you a better look at everything. But just from the perspective of the review, let's talk about everything you're gonna get in this kit. I already, of course, took the kit apart. You do get a lot of stuff in it, and it's $210, which I think is a pretty good deal for everything that you get, including the motor, which is the most important thing, and the control box as well that's in here. So let's just talk about everything you get. Like I said, it is a 26-inch rim. You can kind of see it here. It does have it is aluminum alloy, double wall rimmed with carbon steel spokes. Everything is really nice. Metal construction on that motor, the hub for the motor and everything. So everything is kind of sealed in there very good. Brushless, gearless motor. So very, very cool. There it does come. Let's go talk about everything with the rubber handlebars here, or not handlebars, but like grips. They don't feel like rubber to me. They feel like plastic to me. So I don't know if I would call them rubber, but it does say rubber handlebar. Twist throttle. I would say it's more plastic, but it does feel durable enough that it's going to last you a while. It is a twist throttle. It does come with a little screen that basically just shows you, it's not LCD or anything like that, but it basically just shows you your battery life and that you're on battery. So I would recommend, I do have like a little Schwinn one that I already had on this bike that will show you speeds and things like that, distance that you're traveling, that kind of stuff. I would aftermarket something like that, especially when you're riding an electric bike, just to know distances and times that you're getting, battery life, that kind of stuff will help you with that. We're going to kind of talk about that towards the end of the video, but I'll get into it a little bit later. So more things that you get both brake levers. So you can see the brake levers here. Those will come because they actually have wires connected to them for when you push the brake, it will actually stop the motor. So it's kind of important. It'll stop the motor for you. So you really want to make sure you change out all those brake levers and everything like that. It comes with all the wires you'll need, cable ties. It comes with the controller box that I'll show you in here in just a second. It comes with some instructions. It does come with a pedal assist little circle hub, which does go on your crank. Now that is a little bit more in depth that I definitely will not get into this video. If you guys want me to, maybe I'll tackle it, but I won't guarantee anything right now because on this particular bike, I just didn't want to put it on it because I really just wanted the front motor. If I had a rear motor, I probably would have done it. But the reason why I didn't get a rear motor is because you'd have to tap into all the gears and everything, and it's a little bit more in depth, and so then I probably would have took the bike apart a little bit more. The reason why I went with a front motor is because it's a lot easier. It honestly is. You don't have to mess with as much stuff to put a front motor. than to put the rear motor. And so like I said, and then I would have to take the chain off and do, you know, all kinds of stuff. So then I probably would have put the pedal assist on. But on the front motor, I'm not really interested in pedal assist. I'm just interested in having the twist throttle and kind of going with electric power when I want electric power, and then when I want to pedal, I can pedal as well. So kind of where I was at with that. Cable ties, it comes with some plastic piping to put your wires in. It does come with brake levers. One thing you guys probably noticed I didn't say that was in there is the battery. So you're gonna have to buy a battery, and sometimes the batteries are as expensive as the kit. So I said the kit was $210. You can easily spend $210 on a battery. And I particularly did buy a battery, Foo Shield 48 volt e-bike battery. It does have enough power to match up with the system that I have here, and it works excellent. So it was a great lithium ion battery with the 48 volts, 13-hour amps, and 1,000 cycle life. So 1,000 charges you can get on it. Pretty good little battery. It can go 48 volts and supply, you know, 200 to 1,400 watts of power fluctuating in there. So pretty cool. It does have a charging socket that's a 5 volt, 1 amp USB type charging kit for it. And I'll show you the battery here in a little bit as well. But that is $239, which is more than this kit. Luckily, they did have a coupon for that battery, and it was, you know, $200 or $209, so about the same price as the kit. So kind of crazy there, but yes, they will. And I would go with something like I'm about to show you with this kit, because it's just easier than, like, you'd have to buy an extra box or case to put like just a square, cheaper box battery in. So getting something like this just works better, and it's faster to install as well because you won't have to buy extra things with it. Other things that you will have to buy, just to put that out there, is like this bag. I'll leave links for all the bags and the names and prices like that. But this bag was probably, you know, $20. The bike rack that to put the battery on was $30. So, you know, you're looking at a pretty significant little cost to do this kit. Into that a little bit later on the negatives, but so you're going to look around $600. The key to that, though, is this is a universal kit, and it will work on the bike that you already have. Now, you're going to say, well, why don't I just go buy an electric bike? Well, good luck buying a really good electric bike for around $600. You might be able to find some smaller ones, but they're not really like a true mountain bike type bike. You might be closer to the $800 mark. You might be able to find some. You know, price for price, you're really close, but you will probably end up saving just a little bit money doing it yourself like this instead of buying a brand new bike. So that's kind of up to you, but like I said, you probably will save just a little bit of money when it comes to, you know, going out there and trying to find a brand new electric bike. Most of those electric bikes will easily be, you know, $800 to $1,200, if not more. If you're talking about like really nice electric bikes, you could get easily into the thousands of dollars. So like I said, this kit will save you a little bit money, and it was kind of fun to do if you like little handiwork and things like that. That I found myself, you know, having some fun with it. So I'll take you around the bike real quick, and then we're going to talk about positives and negatives and kind of get you out of here. I'm not going to show you any riding, but I will talk about some things to expect when you're riding. This is more of just an informative video, a little bit dry, but hopefully useful. And I'm going to tell you about everything that you get in the video and everything that I had to put on the video. Let's get into it right away. Like I said, so you will get the brake levers, and if you notice there's an extra wire coming off of these, that is for the cutoff. So when you grab the brakes, it will shut the motor off. You do get this little LCD screen. I'll show you that real quick. I'm going to turn the battery on and show you what happens when you turn it on. So that is the battery. It is on. It says I'm low, but really, I just don't think this battery's pushed in all the way. There we go. So now that the battery's turned on, it shows that I'm full. It gives you a little battery down here that you're on battery, and that, you know, I'm full right there. So pretty cool. The on and off switch, pretty basic. Like I said, I think of all the things I feel about this kit, this feels like the cheapest, because this, like I said, this is not like rubber in my opinion. It's more plastic, so they say it's a rubber grip, but I think it's kind of plasticky. So the handlebars themselves are pretty good. You will notice that I did have to do a little bit of modification to keep my gears. I didn't want to get rid of my gears on this bike, so I actually cut my gear shift just a little bit so I have enough room that I can still shift this. I can still shift all my gears and I can still use this as a normal bike. Like I said, this is a little Schwinn little display that will show you. It will tell me speed, how far I've traveled, you know, a couple little things like that that are important. So I would recommend getting something like this. Very, very easy to install. Let's walk around the front. You can take a look at those handlebars. Like I said, you do have to have a little bit of know-how. Like I said, you will have to take all this off, and they do go to the brakes. I do have clamp style brakes on this. A lot of new bikes will have disc brakes, so if you just have to, you know, work with the wires and stuff here. So, but these are pretty easy to take off. I can just pull this out and, you know, open them up by pulling this out, and then they just open right up. So I'm not going to put that back right now because I have the camera in my hand, but like I said, you can see how easy that was. One thing I can show you is if you do buy this kit, I would definitely upgrade your brakes. So I went and bought some Cool Stop brakes. Very, very good brakes. You have a lot of surface area here that applies to your rim, and they're really good brakes. So I do like them. I did have to replace all my brakes. This is a Trek bike. It is a Navigator 200. It's a pretty old bike. I've had it for a long time, but it's pretty nice to just upgrade it. So like here is the actual motor itself. It looks pretty good. And I don't know how to pronounce that, but I'll just say the Jauopay there. It looks pretty good. It sounds pretty good and things like that. It's not super loud, so I do like it. You do get these little stops too that kind of just cover things. The wires here, all your wires will go back to your controller is what they call it. Now it does look very intimidating. Really, it's not too bad because all of the connectors actually have different connector heads, so they match up pretty well. Earlier I talked about this is a 1,000-watt motor, but it is slashed down to 750 watts when you have this blue wire connected. So if you want the full power, all you have to do is disconnect this wire, yes. So you can see the connector on there. All you have to do is disconnect this blue wire and you will get the full potential of the 1,000 watts. But like I said, for me, I am good, especially with the front motor kit with only the 750 watts. So I'll have to pick up a bag. I'll leave a link for that. It was relatively cheap. I think it was like $18. So good little bag for this. I'll leave a link for that. Other than that, another thing you want to buy is some new cable ties. The cable ties they provide are kind of trash, so go ahead and ditch those and buy yourself some decent cable ties. These are the ones that I have. I did purchase some black ones that I will be replacing these with, but for now I just have the white ones. And then this is your power wire that goes to your battery right here. This rack was $30. It is an Ibarra bike rack, nice little bike rack. Very, very easy to install, just installs straight onto your frame and everything. So nice little, just have these little brackets on the front too, but very, very easy little bike rack to install. And then the battery, guys. This, like I said, is $239. Maybe there will be a coupon to make it a little cheaper, but I would buy something like this just because it's very, very easy to install and easy to use. You don't have to worry about buying an extra bag like this for the battery, because you notice I don't have a lot of room up here. That way you can just mount it on the back and you're good to go. It does have a little key lever, so I can just take this off. I'm gonna go ahead and shut the battery off because I still have it on. And I'm gonna shut this off real quick. There we go. But yeah, you can just turn this key and push. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to do this with one hand. There we go. And then that just comes right out and you can go ahead and charge it. It does have the charging port right here on an off switch. And then on this side, it actually has a little accessory port so you can charge a phone or something like that as well. But yes, and then you just push it in and you can lock it back down. It does have a key. It does have a little charge on the back, so it can tell you what the charge is on the bike. So you can see there, I am full power right now. And pretty cool. Like I said, this is a older bike. The only other extra thing I want to talk about is, like I said, that pedal assist would go behind this, so you would have to take this bolt out pieces would come out. Be very, very careful. There might be some bearings or something in there. So, you know, it's a little extra to get that pedal assist in there, but it wouldn't be too hard. I believe it's just like a couple bolts, including on this side here, to take the crank off. So they do have instructions in there on how to do that. I did not do that, but that's where you'd go to do that. Another thing I'd want to talk about real quick is on here. My actual forks were a little bit small to fit the axle for this hub. So I did have to use my Dremel and a little bit of a sander to just sand them down just a little bit so I could be able to slide this axle hub in. So I did have to do a little modification there. And then I also, of course, I told you I modified my handle here so I could keep my gears. I really wanted to just use this bike as a bike still. And so the gears are still here, but you know, you can use the twist throttle all day as well. So I still have all my gears for the bike. Switch views, and I will wrap this video up with positives and negatives. And I'll get you out of here with a little extra information though. For sure is price point. All together with the battery and the kit, which are the most must-haves, and maybe a few little accessories, you're gonna be around $500, $550. Pretty good to upgrade your bike to an electric bike. Now, people say, oh, I could probably buy a whole brand new electric bike for about $600. That is true. You will find select bikes, not in the mountain bike type shape. Those usually range from $800 to $1,000. And if you're talking about a really cool electric bike like the Super 73s and things like that, those can get into the thousands of dollars. So even Trek electric bikes are thousands, and then we're talking $2,000 to $3,000. So to get into those bikes, you're going to be spending a lot of money. So the price point of this, around $500 to $600 for everything you'll need to get this done. Pretty good little value in my opinion. Like I said, the biggest investment will be on the battery and the kit itself, which like I said was $420 for me. And then with a couple, you know, bags, I purposely had to upgrade brakes, and I put some different tires on this as well. You know, we're still at, you know, an extra $100. So like I said, I was around the 550 range with everything that I put on this bike. So like I said, I think it's totally worth it. I do get decent range with this. So that's all pretty much positives. With the kit itself, I haven't had any issues except for some fitment issues and things like that, which I corrected myself with a little bit of handiness. So pretty good there. Like I said, it does have pedal assist, but I didn't do that. But you can, and it shouldn't be too hard to get into, like I said. So pretty cool on the actual kit and everything itself. So all positive in my fact, especially with gas prices. I can easily ride this a round trip for, you know, 10 to 20 miles, honestly, and still have half-life. Like I said, I'm not, but all that depends on, you know, the battery you have, the weight, what kind of riding you're doing. If you're using the twist throttle the whole time and you're not actually pedaling the bike, things like that can all factor in. Uphill, downhill, you know, I have a pretty flat track to where I go, so my round trip of doing 20 miles a day, I can easily, you know, I will only have to charge this bike maybe every, you know, 2 to 3 days, and I'll still have maybe a quarter of a battery left. So I get pretty good charge life, and I usually don't wait to charge it. A lot of people say that you should just run the batteries dry and then charge them. There's a lot of positives and negatives on what everybody says on how to keep your battery maintenance. But like I said, I usually just charge it. Probably every time it gets close to half, I'll charge it. So that could be probably every 2 days in the way I ride and as far as I ride. So I can't really get into mileage and how far you can go and that kind of stuff. But I will say that, you know, I think it's pretty good and it's pretty easy to charge. The battery from that can take, on a completely dead battery, it could take up to 8 hours. But like I said, I don't let it get there. So usually in about 4 hours, I can charge my battery. 4 hours or less, I should say. I can charge that battery and it's ready to go. So no problem there, guys. So you can get some pretty good usage out of this. Those are all definitely positive. Negative, universal kit. I just can't say it is a universal kit. There are definitely some things on this that you might have to modify, including, like I said, if you want to keep the gears on the bike, you'll have to buy some accessories, like, you know, this bag to keep the controller in. I would definitely get something so you can monitor how far you're going, and those types of things, very easy to set up. Some cable ties, because the ones in this kit are garbage in my opinion, so definitely get some different cable ties. Upgrade your brakes if you have clamp style brakes. I would definitely upgrade those. If you have disc style brakes, those are definitely a little bit better. Just make sure they're in good working order and everything, because you will be going 24 miles an hour, you know, if you're going the fastest on this bike, or faster if you're upgrading to 1,000 watts of power. So make sure your brakes are good. Make sure your brakes are good, and make sure that you use them appropriately, because you will be moving fast. Don't ever grab a handful of brake on the front especially. So another thing of warning is I did upgrade the tires as well, and I'll explain. I had some nice road tires. These are actually really good, nice road tires, but I had noticed this is slick. So when I would twist throttle, especially on gravel or grass, that front tire is a little bit different when you're riding, because all your power's in your front tire, like a front wheel drive car. But when you're on a bike, it's a little bit different to have a front wheel drive bike. It wants to torque steer. It wants to kind of turn you a little bit, a little torque steery. But check this torque out. Woo, can smell a little bit of rubber. So, especially in grass or gravel, be careful, guys. Don't grab a handful of throttle in gravel or grass, or you might go down. Especially in grass, I noticed it wants to spin out a little bit, so definitely kind of take it easy when you take off from gravel or grass. On cement, you should be okay. You can honestly spin it out on flat cement, especially if you have slick tires like this, road tires. That's why I changed my tires to some knobby tires right here. So I'll definitely leave some links for those as well. So a lot of information. I don't have really a lot of negative. Be careful, take your time on this bike. I think anybody can do this kit, honestly, if you have any kind of handiness in you. So just take your time, follow the instructions, and I really think you can get this together, especially on the front mount hub motor. So it's a little bit easier to get that done. You don't have to worry about messing with the gears at all. And like I said, you can just invest a little time and a little bit of money, and you can definitely get it done. So I will definitely leave links for everything that I can think of that I put into this bike. That included brakes, the frame bag, the back rack, the battery, some zip ties, and really I think that's about it. So I think we're good to go. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Sorry this is a long video, and I didn't, showing you a ride time or anything, but just to let you know, it does work very good. It is fun, does put a smile on your face. Can go up to that 24 miles per hour for sure. So have some fun, be safe, and save some gas. DJ Martini Midwest Reviews. Hopefully it's helpful.